Hello friends, Robin here from Cheese from Scratch, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you a little bit, or talking to you a little bit about how I'm raising my upcoming heifer to be a future family milk cow. Alright, so as you can see, I've got Cami tied up behind me here. This is actually Cami's only her 4th day of halter training. Up until today, I haven't spent too much time doing it. We've just been kind of getting used to having the halter. Today is the first day that I'm really tying her here and kind of letting her learn that resistance of when you pull back, nothing really happens. So we're going to be ending on a good note today when she kind of stops thrashing around and she just stands nice. So that's kind of my goal with Cami today. But I wanted to talk to you about everything that I've done up until this point. Cami is 9 months old. Everything that I've done up until this point to raise her to be a good future family milk cow. So a lot of it has to do with breeding. So first off, I really like Cami's mom. Cami's mom is this kind of mutt of a dairy cow. She's half Guernsey, a quarter brown Swiss, and a quarter Holstein. So she's this kind of mutt of a dairy cow, but she is super hardy and she's from really hardy lines. I actually bought her from a grass-fed dairy that has been doing grass-fed for over 15 years. I feed her mom grain, but it's more that I just feel bad because I feed my other cow grain. So I feed her mom grain just a little bit after milking as more of a treat versus actually having to use that grain to keep her body condition. And I am really pro using grain and feeding your cow what they need to be able to sustain their body condition, because dairy cows have just been bred to need to utilize that grain to be able to produce the amount of milk that they produce. But anyways, Annabelle, Cami's mom, she's really good at maintaining her condition on really good quality feed alone, but I do supplement her with some grain, making sure I don't get kicked here. So that started out. Mother's lines are really good. I love Annabelle's genes. She's a bit of a standoffish cow. When I first got her, it was a real hard time. That was actually why she was sold. She was sold because she just didn't have a very good attitude. I worked with her a lot, and she's one of my favorite cows now. I love her. She is standoffish, I can't go out to the pen and pet her, but I almost think that's kind of a good thing. And I see those traits in Cami, her calf, as well. I would never be able to go out into the pen and pet Cami, but when she is in the barn, I can easily move her into the barn. She easily is gonna do what I want. Me putting a halter on her was no big deal. But she's not going to be running up to me. She's not going to be pushy to me. And I kind of like that trait in a family milk cow, especially one that I'm going to be having my kids milking. You know, when my kids are down in the barn, kind of the cow of choice for them to milk is Annabelle, Cami's mom, versus my other milk cow, who is super friendly. She's going to be the first to come up to you in the milk cow pen, but she's kind of pushy because she kind of has that bottle baby tendency where, she's more of a dog than a cow. And that's dangerous when you have a cow that is as big as a cow. So anyways, I like that standoffish behavior. I want them to be friendly. I want them to respect me, but I don't need them to be like a dog. And so that's something in Annabelle's genetics that I actually really appreciated. We ended up breeding Annabelle with AI Normandy genetics. So the sire was Normandy. We chose Normandy just because it is a really hardy breed of dual purpose dairy cows and beef cows. So we just wanted to try it out. My husband actually is from a dairy farm in Wisconsin. They had some Normandys and he loved them. So I'm excited to see how those genetics turn out with her. She is the ultimate mutt now though, because she has Guernsey, Holstein, Brown Swiss, and Normandy in her. Half Normandy. I'm going to continue with the Normandy line, so I'm going to breed her to a Normandy and try and get back to more of that that full Normandy, but we'll see how that goes. Anyways, that's a tangent off. But the first thing I'm looking for when I'm choosing my my future milk cow is genetics, and so I'm excited about her genetics, especially her mom's. You know, her dad's, you can look in the catalog and you can kind of pick what you want. We definitely picked things for example, capsaicin BB is a cheese making protein, so that's the one that's going to give you the highest yield and most quickest coagulation in cheese making. A2A2, we chose those kind of genetics for her from her sire. Her mom is those as well. Anyways, those are kind of the genetic things that I picked when I was choosing to have her. I really like her mom's udder because I hand milk. You know, I'm looking for long teats, good udder placement, and I do like her mom's udder. It is on the tad of the beefy side, and that's what you get when you start to get kind of that hardier milk cow, but I don't actually mind it too much. She does hold back cream for her calf, but the turn around of that is that I get this nice, big, beautiful calf. So that's the genetic side of it. Now I want to talk about how I have raised Cami up until this point. When Cami was first born, I kept her on mom. My plan was to calf share if I could. I always go into calf sharing kind of with this mentality that I'm going to calf share if I can, and if I can't, then I'm not opposed to not calf sharing. It's sort of, you have to take each situation by itself. You know, sometimes it just doesn't work out, but it ended up working out for Cami, and because I was planning on keeping her for a future family milk cow, my goal was to keep her on her mom for 9 months. She's 9 months old right now, so I have met my goal. She is still on mom. I'm going to be weaning her soon, but that was my goal. And the reason for that is that if they can just have that really good start of having that almost unlimited milk for that first 9 months, I've done some reading about it, and it's just going to set them better up for their life as a future cow and as a future milk cow. So I'm excited to see how that sets her up. You know, this is kind of an experimentation thing here, but I mean, it can't hurt. So I think that yeah, it's just going to be neat to see how she turns out and how that really good start to life helped her to turn into, hopefully, knock on wood, a really good family milk cow. Another thing I've done with raising her is because she's not a bottle baby. She's not reliant on me for anything. So one thing that I've been really diligent about is making sure that my presence is known. You know, I'm around here every day. I'm working with her, not in the terms of like halter breaking. Obviously this is day 4 of halter breaking, but every day she's seeing me. I'm moving her in to lock her up at night. Actually usually Zach does that, but it's important that both of us are around her. You know, in the morning after I'm done milking her mother, I bring her in, she starts sucking on her mom, and I just spend some time giving her some scratches, feeling her all over. I've been feeling her udder, you know, for a long time, just getting her used to me kind of feeling all over her body and touching all over her body. And so that's been something that I've done pretty diligently. I won't say that I've done it every day, but I've definitely been around every day because I have to milk her mom every day. So that has made it way easier getting to this phase where I'm ready to halter break her now. Now, some people halter break their calves right after they're born, and there's nothing wrong with that. I kind of just like to do it. I don't know why I like to do it when they're a little bit older, but it just kind of makes it, I don't know, I feel like they're in a different developmental age and it's just a little bit easier. Like the other day when I put the halter on her for the first time, it was no problem. I put it on, tied her to the post, and that was kind of that. So I feel like it's just personal choice. I'm definitely not the best halter trainer in the world. I'm not going to be able to teach you all sorts of things about it, but yeah, it works well for me. So anyways, just being around, having that presence of myself, she's used to me enough that I could get a halter on her no problem by myself just after milking one day. So that was really something that was one of my goals. I wanted to be able to handle her easily, and up until this point, you know, that has been something that I've been able to do. Now, the next phase for Cami's training is obviously going to be getting her to be led on the halter, you know, in a couple days. Once she's kind of learned this being tied resistance sort of training, I'll start working her on leading. Sometimes you can use like the 4-wheeler or something like that to help you with the leading. I think you know, knock on wood, but I think we'll probably be pretty good if she stays tied to this post for, you know, if I do this after milking every day for the next couple days, I'll probably be able to start to implement a little bit of leading, just maybe using a stick to tap her back feet so that she moves forward. We'll see how that goes. Anyways, like I said, I'm not going to give you halter training advice, but so that's the next phase of Cammie's training. After I get her halter broke, I'll start introducing her into the head gate. I like to not introduce food as a training thing. That's definitely personal preference because food can be super handy, but because they kind of become reliant on that food. So, you know, I'm going to introduce the head gate as more of something that I just need you to do. You're going to stand in the head gate. I'm going to brush you or kind of give you some scratches and stuff like that. Maybe there'll be a treat at the end, but that's not the final goal. You know, I'm not going to be leading you into there with food. So that's my hopeful for her. I've trained a lot of my milk cows without food as a incentive, and it has worked. For example, Annabelle, when I first trained her, she was grass-fed. She had never seen grain in her life. But the first time I gave her grain, she was like, what the heck is this? She wouldn't even eat it. So I trained her to like be a family milk cow without any grain, and it worked out good. She turned into a good family milk cow. It definitely makes it a little bit easier now that we have grain in. You know, they always meet me at the gate, that kind of thing, but it's not the end all be all. You don't have to train with food if you don't want to. Another phase of training that I think that often kind of gets forgotten is what they're going to learn from their mom. You know, she has been around this barn, in and out of this milk stall, as much as her mom over the last 9 months. And she is learning things from her mom. So I think that is really valuable as well. I do love capturing for that reason, for the things that their moms teach them. Behaviorally, I think that they teach them a lot behaviorally, which is really interesting and really cool to watch. Also, just getting her used to all the situation that we've got going on here. You know, kids are often running in and out. You know, my kids as well, they have to be calm. You know, that's part of me parenting them. They, like, when you're around the cows, you got to be calm-ish. She can't be like totally crazy, but also they're kids, and the cows need to be comfortable around kids. So, you know, that has been something that has not been like designated training, but has just been something that has happened, that, you know, they're used to when the kids walk in and out and stuff. So I'm really excited about Cammie as a future family milk cow.
So thank you guys for watching this video. If you haven't already, like the video and subscribe. I post a new video every Monday on all things cheese making, milk cows, and dairy processing, and I would love to have you guys back. I'm also excited to continue to show you how this milk cow training goes with Cammie. Hopefully you will be able to see her become one of our future family milk cows, which is just something that's super cool. So I can't wait to show you guys all of our adventures here. Now, Cammie, she stood really good while I was doing this video, so if you were kind of concerned why I was just letting her tied there, this is just a normal part of halter training a calf, is you just kind of have to leave them and let them kind of thrash around a little bit, just to teach them that resistance training. And the more you do that, the better it's going to be to halter train them. So thank you guys, have a good afternoon, and bye!